Welcome to Hidden Scandals of Hollywood's Golden Age stars. Behind the glamour and flashing lights, even the brightest stars carried secrets they dared not share. Today, we reveal the hidden stories Hollywood kept carefully in the shadows. Let's uncover the most shocking scandals, beginning with the one that nearly ended a career overnight. Gloria Grahame and her stepson. Gloria Grahame was a celebrated actress of the 1940s and 50s, known for her sultry roles and an Academy Award. But off-screen, her life took a turn that shocked even scandal-weary Hollywood. In 1951, Grahame's husband, director Nicholas Ray, discovered her in a compromising situation with his teenage son, Anthony. Anthony was only 13 at the time. Ray quickly divorced Grahame, and for years she kept her distance from the boy. Yet in 1960, when Anthony was 23, she married him. She was 37, making her both his former stepmother and his wife. When the press exposed the marriage 2 years later, the backlash was fierce. Audiences who once admired her beauty now saw her as reckless, even immoral. The scandal left scars on her career. But Grahame remained defiant. She and Anthony stayed together for more than a decade, a love born in whispers and raised in fire. Jerry Lewis's unacknowledged daughter. Jerry Lewis, the rubber-faced comedian of The Nutty Professor and countless stage acts with Dean Martin, cultivated the image of a devoted family man. Yet behind the laughter was a secret he carried to his grave. In the early 1950s, Lewis had a 3-year affair with model Lynn Dixon. From that relationship came a daughter, Suzanne. To protect his career, Lewis refused to acknowledge her. Suzanne lived her life without her father's support, even as Lewis enjoyed fame, fortune, and the adoration of fans worldwide. Years later, DNA testing confirmed an overwhelming probability that Suzanne was indeed his child. But recognition never came. By the time of Lewis's death in 2017, she was still excluded from his estate. The story paints a painful contrast. A man beloved by millions who could not extend the same affection to his own daughter. For Suzanne, the comedy never touched her life. Jack Nicholson's family secret. Jack Nicholson became a symbol of Hollywood rebellion in the 1970s. But his own beginnings were marked by a secret worthy of a Greek tragedy. Born in 1937, Jack grew up believing his grandparents were his parents. The young woman he knew as his older sister, June, was in truth his biological mother. June had become pregnant at 17, and to shield her from scandal, the family decided to raise Jack as their own. Nicholson learned the truth not from his family, but from a reporter. In 1974, a journalist researching his life uncovered the story. By then, both June and the grandmother who raised him had died, leaving Jack no chance for answers. He later admitted the revelation was dramatic, a quiet understatement for a discovery that upended his identity. The star, known for raw emotion on screen, lived with one of Hollywood's most deeply guarded personal secrets. Bobby Darin's mother or sister. Bobby Darin was the golden boy of late 1950s pop music and film, his song Mac the Knife cementing his place in history. But in 1968, when he was 32 years old, he learned a secret that shattered him. The woman he thought was his sister, Nina, was actually his mother. At 18, Nina gave birth to Bobby out of wedlock. To shield her from stigma, the family passed the baby off as her younger brother, raising him as their own. When Nina finally revealed the truth, Bobby withdrew from the world for months. He was devastated not only by the lie, but also by the mystery of his absent father. Nina never disclosed his identity, taking that secret to her grave. For a man who lived with charm and vitality, Bobby Darin carried an unhealed wound, knowing the foundations of his life were built on a deception. Judy Garland's hidden heartache. Judy Garland enchanted the world as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, yet her real life was filled with burdens Hollywood never allowed her to share. Her father, Frank Gumb, was a closeted homosexual whose behavior forced the family to move repeatedly when whispers of scandal grew too loud. This secret shadowed Judy's youth. Later, under the tight control of MGM Studios, Judy faced a different kind of concealment. In 1941, still a teenager, she eloped and soon became pregnant. Studio executives ordered her to end the pregnancy, never telling her husband. 2 years later, history repeated itself. After an affair with actor Tyrone Power, she again became pregnant, and again MGM arranged a secret abortion. To the world, Garland was the wholesome girl next door with a golden voice. In reality, she was a young woman stripped of choices, carrying grief that remained hidden behind the studio's polished image. Orson Welles' secret son. Orson Welles, the genius behind Citizen Kane, lived a life full of mysteries. None more intriguing than the story of his rumored secret son. In the 1940s, Welles had a passionate affair with Irish actress Geraldine Fitzgerald. Both were married at the time. Fitzgerald gave birth to a boy, Michael Lindsay Hogg, but told him that her husband, Sir Edward Lindsay Hogg, was his father. Michael grew up in the theater world, often crossing paths with Welles's daughter, not realizing they were half-siblings. His resemblance to Welles raised eyebrows, but the truth remained whispered speculation. Decades later, Fitzgerald's friends confirmed Orson as the father. DNA testing offered partial support, though not complete proof. Michael himself has spoken of the complex mystery of his origins. Whether science confirms it or not, the story stands as another Hollywood secret carefully protected during Welles's lifetime, a chapter that only history could begin to unravel. Raymond Burr's imaginary family. Raymond Burr was best known as the stern defense attorney Perry Mason, a fixture of television for decades. Off-screen, however, he invented a personal history that fooled millions. Burr claimed he had been married to a Scottish actress who tragically died in a plane crash in 1943. He went further, telling of a young son, Michael, who had succumbed to leukemia at the age of 10. He even spoke movingly of taking the boy on a final cross-country trip before his death. None of it was true. There was no wife, no son, no tragic loss. Burr had fabricated the story, likely to deflect attention from his private life as a gay man in a time when such truth could end a career. Only after his death in 1993 did the truth emerge. The family Burr spoke of so often had existed only in his imagination. Hedy Lamarr's mysterious child. Hedy Lamarr was celebrated not only for her beauty on screen, but also for her brilliant mind, later contributing to technology behind modern communications. Yet one chapter of her personal life remained clouded in uncertainty. In 1939, she gave birth to a son, James. For years, Lamarr insisted that James was adopted during her marriage to screenwriter Gene Markey. Rumors persisted, however, that James was her biological child, perhaps fathered by actor John Loder, whom she later married. James himself believed Hedy was his mother, though their relationship became strained when she refused to confirm it. For decades, speculations swirled. In a final twist, DNA evidence revealed James was not biologically related to Lamarr or Loder after all, suggesting adoption was indeed the truth. Whether by design or by confusion, Lamarr left behind a mystery. To this day, the story of James reflects the tangled private life of a star who dazzled the world. Allegra Houston's true father. Director John Huston gave us treasures such as the Maltese Falcon and the African Queen, but his own family life held secrets that would only surface years later. In the 1960s, Huston's fourth wife, ballerina Enrica Soma, had an affair with British aristocrat John Julius Norwich. The relationship resulted in the birth of a daughter, Allegra. When Enrica died in a car accident in 1969, Huston raised Allegra as his own child. To the outside world, she was John Huston's daughter. He never revealed otherwise, shielding her from public scrutiny. Only later, through Allegra's own memoir and family accounts, did the truth emerge. Her biological father was not Huston, but Norwich. Huston gave Allegra his name and his care, even if not his blood. In doing so, he preserved her place in the family while concealing the scandal that could have overshadowed her early life. Loretta Young and Clark Gable's hidden daughter. Loretta Young was admired for her wholesome image, often playing virtuous women in films of the 1930s. But behind the curtain was a secret romance with lasting consequences. While filming The Call of the Wild in 1935, she became involved with her married co-star, Clark Gable. Their relationship resulted in a pregnancy, a devastating prospect for a devout Catholic actress, under strict studio morality rules. Young disappeared from the public eye, gave birth in secret, and placed the baby girl in an orphanage. 19 months later, she staged an adoption, bringing the child into her home as if she were unrelated. The girl, Judy Lewis, grew up believing she was adopted, though Hollywood insiders whispered about her resemblance to Gable. Loretta privately admitted the truth to Judy in 1966, but never acknowledged it publicly. Only after her death did her memoir confirm the story. Marion Davies and William Randolph Hearst. Marion Davies was a sparkling star of the silent era, beloved for her comedic talent. Her longtime companion was publishing magnate William Randolph Hearst, whose influence shaped her career. Together, they held one of Hollywood's most enduring, if unconventional, romances. Yet in 1923, Davies gave birth to a daughter, Patricia. To protect Hearst's reputation, he was married and a powerful public figure. The child was passed off as the daughter of Davies' sister. Officially, Patricia was raised as Marion's niece. For decades, Patricia lived under that identity, while insiders quietly suspected the truth. Hearst's devotion to his so-called goddaughter was far more intense than custom suggested. Not until Patricia's own deathbed in 1993 did she confirm the secret. She was the daughter of Marion Davies and William Randolph Hearst. The revelation exposed one of the most carefully guarded personal stories of Hollywood's golden years. Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. Few Hollywood stories carry as much quiet romance as the relationship between Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. For 26 years, they were devoted to one another, but always in secret. Tracy, a devout Catholic, never divorced his wife, Louise, though they lived apart. For Hepburn, that meant living in the shadows. The studio system demanded moral appearances, and an open affair would have ended careers. Together, they crafted a life of discretion. They maintained separate homes, avoided public appearances as a couple, and allowed their bond to exist mostly behind closed doors. Within Hollywood, many knew the truth, but the public remained unaware. Only after Tracy's death in 1967 did Hepburn speak openly of their love. It was a hidden partnership that endured decades, a reminder that not all Hollywood secrets were scandalous. Some were simply too fragile for the glare of the spotlight. From Gloria Grahame's forbidden romance to Hepburn and Tracy's quiet devotion, these stories reveal the shadows behind Hollywood's golden glow. The legends on screen lived lives as complicated as any, their secrets whispering across time. If you enjoyed this look back at Hollywood's hidden scandals, please like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more untold stories from the golden age of